It's a new kind of war. No tanks, no missiles, just quiet influence, spreading, shaping, controlling. This is the silent proxy war made in China. China calls them win-win relationships, a community of shared interests and values. But in reality, they are relationships of dependence. China offers help in exchange for something much bigger, a say in national policy. According to Topaz Ram, China is building a global web of influence, not through force, but through allies. By funding infrastructure projects across 150 nations, China has created a web of economic dependency. It holds the purse strings of the global south. Every day, 1,000 Chinese students leave for foreign universities. There are now more than 500,000 Chinese studying abroad, mostly in the US, the UK, Australia, Canada, all key Western allies. Chinese language courses are mandatory in many schools from Malaysia to Pakistan. China now sources half of its oil from the Middle East. Last year, Pakistan opened the first phase of the Pakistan Stream, a gas pipeline that carries fuel from Karachi in Sindh to Qasr in Punjab. The deal was worth $2 billion. So was the second phase signed last month. Both deals were with China. Countries like Saudi Arabia see China as a counterweight to the USA. It pumps billions into startups, buys stakes in banks and telecom firms, funds entire industries. Confucius Institutes have become cultural hubs, some say with a hidden agenda. It just needs to be everywhere. Last week, both countries marked a decade of their strategic partnership. Just want to help your economy grow. Don't challenge China, just benefit from it. It's the deal they offer. China is reshaping the global order without ever firing a single shot. The West is still looking for enemies. But China is looking for opportunities. While others fight, China builds. It's a strategy that has brought it to power. And it could keep China in power for decades to come. And many nations are signing up, quietly. What explains the longevity of this relationship? Some call it transactional, others call it ideological. But the fact is, China's outreach is subtle. Through trade, diplomacy, technology. In short, China is surrounding itself with a ring of fire. Not a military alliance, but a network of nations that act in sync with Beijing, sometimes without even knowing it. These aren't just partnerships, they're proxies, partners, puppets. The Belt and Road alone is a masterstroke of this strategy. In Latin America alone, China's loans account for 10% of all foreign loans. In Africa, the numbers are much higher, more than 60%. At the same time, China is waging a war of ideas. Even the UN is not spared. Of the 50 or so Confucius Institutes worldwide, 9 are inside the United Nations. Headquarters in New York, Geneva, Vienna, The Hague, dozens more in key capitals. What do these cultural centers really do? One investigation found that their real purpose is to control the flow of information. But there is no denying the scale of China's soft power. The numbers are staggering, and so is the investment. China is now the third largest source of foreign direct investment in the world. In return, it gets access to resources, markets, and political clout. So what does China get for this massive investment? For starters, raw materials. At the same time, China is cultivating political friends. Same with the UAE. Their message is simple. We won't meddle in your politics. We won't criticize your human rights record. This strategy is not for today or even this decade. It's about 10, 20, 30 years ahead. China does not need to invade. Topaz Ram warns that if the world does not see this strategy, it might wake up when it's too late. It could be surrounded. This is the New World Order. And this is not war, it's design.